When I bought this house, the previous owner warned me that there was a land dispute with the HOA. Apparently they wanted access to this wooded area behind our houses and she could be bothered to deal with it. That meant I inherited the problem. Our HOA is full of rules. You can't park your car in the street. You can't cut down a tree without permission. You can't even put up a clothesline. Our dues are over $400 a month. So I expected there to be some benefit. But since we moved in, all I saw were weeds. It belonged to a private owner who leased it to them for a ridiculously cheap annual fee. Without that lease, they had no legal right to keep the trails open. And if I could find that owner, maybe I could help everyone in the neighborhood get access to this beautiful piece of nature. Or if I found something juicy about their finances, maybe I could shake things up in the HOA. Either way, I was about to have some fun. The first thing I did was head to the county clerk's office. Every state keeps public records on land ownership. So for me, that meant a quick trip to the courthouse. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared for how overwhelming this place was. There were endless rows of filing cabinets stacked floor to ceiling. Now it's possible that someone at the front desk could have helped me out. But I just couldn't bring myself to interrupt that intense game of Mafia Wars. So I wandered around until I found a helpful employee who showed me where I could search through the records for free. Then I sat down at a computer and got to work. My research paid off immediately. I found out that the HOA was incorporated in 1978. And wouldn't you know it, the county kept records dating back to then. So I typed in the name, and voila! There it was, the original deed for the HOA property. The good news was that I found out who owned the woods behind our houses. The bad news was that it wasn't the HOA. It was a guy named Harold. And just to make matters worse, he'd been dead for 20 years. Thankfully, the deed said that his widow, Marjorie, would inherit his estate. So I pulled up the current owner records for her. And now knowing that she was the owner of the disputed property, I began searching online for her. This is when I learned two important things about Harold and Marjorie. 1. They clearly loved each other very much. Every website I visited was filled with photos of the happy couple. And 2. Marjorie was a bit of a local celebrity. Before long, I got a call from Marjorie. We chatted for a while and she told me that she was doing well. Then I explained why I'd contacted her. She was a little suspicious at first, but once she realized I wasn't trying to scam her, she was happy to help. Here's what happened. After Harold passed away, Marjorie tried to sell the house. But after receiving several low offers, she decided to stay in the house. As she grew older, though, the upkeep became too much to handle on her own. To my surprise, they had to pay out a large insurance deductible to repair the clubhouse after a storm caused significant damage. Plus, they had recently paid the electric bill for the house next door. Because they were unable to collect the past due payment, they even had to pay a hefty fine when a resident complained about construction noise. When I added all their expenses up, I noticed that their dues were barely covering their operating costs. In fact, they were losing money every month. So as you can imagine, when I informed the board that Marjorie was willing to give them a discount on the lease, they were ecstatic. As a thank you, the HOA president invited me to join them for dinner at a fancy restaurant. Over steak and lobster, I told him that I wanted to renegotiate the lease for the property. I thought about charging the HOA for my time, but the board was already strapped for cash, so I let them off. Since then, I've become good friends with some of the board members. They're honest, hardworking people who just want what's best for the neighborhood. I am glad I took the time to get to know them, because now we can enjoy the trails on Harold and Marjorie S. property together. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and share it. Also, check out the links below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe.